they went as far as to try to bribe Chinese officials over $100 million. And that didn't work to get the money from those accounts. Apparently, they hired Thai prostitutes.
We call it peg. And we take celebrities and we peg them to the dollar.
That sentence doesn't sound right. But okay.
Pegging celebrities? Black
that was probably the peak of human sexuality, was seeing Mark Zuckerberg with suntan lotion on his face on that, what was it, hoverboard thing on the water?
That was peak sexuality?
Yeah, I never could be aroused again after I saw that. Welcome to the D-Files, the official podcast of Beefy, the multi-chain yield optimizer located on 23 different blockchains, offering you the most competitive yield in all of DeFi. I'm your host, Jorge, and I'm here today with the regulars, TBC, our marketing guru, anarcho-libertarian comic relief, Weso, our genius developer over at Beefy, and the man, the myth, the animal, the creature from down under, our guest, Kila from Retro Finance, bringing in his wisdom. How are you doing today?
I'm good, my man. Fantastic.
By the way, nothing here is financial or legal advice, so you should consult a financial advisor or lawyer if you're looking for that type of information. Anyways, enjoy the show.
Doing better than
Looking fly, dude.
pegs.
I like this one. You're covering your skin a little bit more this episode. I dig it.
For now.
This is a family show.
It's because it's winter. It's winter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he's down under, right?
Absolutely.
At least I'm not in a whore.
All right. So there's so much that has been going on in the world of DeFi and the world of crypto in general. So I figured we'd jump right into it with the Sam Bankman Fried FTX case. And we're not going to be diving into legal jargon, but there's just so much wild stuff going on in the testimony.
Is his last name Fried?
I think it's Fried.
It's Fried.
Fried. Sam Bankman Fried.
I'm afraid he's going to jail for a long time.
No. You meant I'm afraid. No, wait. I'm afraid he's not going to be a freed.
Oh, that was good. That's even better.
Wait, start this over. Start over.
No, the show must go on.
Was freed?
No, he was not freed.
Oh.
Or at least I hope he won't be. I mean, allegedly he committed crimes, but I don't know. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So that's my statement there. But today was an incredible day because we got to hear the testimony of Caroline Ellison, the ex-girlfriend / CEO of Alameda Research. And there's just so much to unpack. So let's start off with a big one, especially for you, TBC and Kila. Maybe Weso, we'll see. I don't know if he has thoughts, but we'll see if we get his thoughts. But anyhow, so they conspired to keep BTC under 20K. And not only that, they were consistently doing so by effectively using customer funds to sell Bitcoin. And I think this is the first time in the history of crypto that we got an official statement in court of an individual talking about manipulating the price of Bitcoin, or individuals, that is. So what do you guys think about that?
All right. This is just going to make all the maxis come out and be like, see, we told you, not your keys, not your coins, right? So we're just going to hear that for the next year. Maybe 2. So thanks, Caroline.
Well,
we know they wrong.
Isn't it funny like that the blatant market manipulation wasn't even like the most crazy thing out of the whole testimony?
Oh yeah. Did you hear about the Thai prostitutes?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to skip right past it. I mean, it is pretty ridiculous. 20,000 seemed like a logical place to, I guess, sell, right? Because that was the last cycle's high. So maybe like trying to manipulate and keep the price below 20,000 was advantageous to either them or the parties that were, funding them. But I think that there was just incredible content throughout this entire, not only just Caroline's testimony, but some of the other, like the CTO's testimony. What's his name? Wang. Mm-hmm. And then also there was like a UI developer who had some interesting testimony where essentially he was said that he got $1 million bonus, or was it $5 million or something like that? And he bought like FTX shares in February 2022. And then he like left the organization in November of 2022. And they said, if you are spending like millions of dollars in FTX shares, why would you leave the company like a few months later? And he goes, well, because they were committing fraud and stealing all of the users' money.
I mean, that's just brutal. Wow.
I think
This guy's going to go to jail.
The biggest lesson I took away from this is that if you're gonna do shady with a girlfriend, you might as well marry her, and that way I don't think that I don't think that she can testify against you if she's your wife.
I love how they're even like airing the grievances of their relationship
Oh,
in
yeah.
court.
Yeah.
And they're like, why did you break up? And he's like, well, because he just wasn't paying attention to me.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I mean, there was more to
Can
it
you
than
blame
that.
him? Right?
It sounds like all he did was play League of Legends.
Hey, everyone, beauty's in the eye of the beholder here. All right. But I also noted that
no, that's not how
she,
it works.
like, but she also apparently was forced to keep their relationship secret. So Sam was like, yo, nobody can know about this. You can let them know you're living in the same house as all the other employees, but yeah, nobody can know we're dating. So there's a red flag right there.
Yeah, they were doing some background on her, and it was kind of wild. So when they were doing like, when they were asking her the questions in court, it was basically like, how did you know Sam? Can you point Sam out? And then they said that they knew each other from Jane Street, and that they both worked there together. And then when he left and he started Alameda, you know, she was still at Jane Street, and then he like messaged her and said, hey, you want to come and get like grab a cup of coffee? And she's like, yeah, sure, okay. And then I guess he like persuaded her to come work with him at Alameda. And then when they started dating, he needed somebody to be the CEO, I guess like a plant as CEO in Alameda. And he's like, hey, I'm going to put you as CEO. And she's like, I'm not really qualified to be CEO. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'm just going to tell you what to do. And it was just kind of funny, like throughout the whole thing, like even like her saying that she's going to like basically buy all the FTT, I think it was at like $22, was all like basically like Wang and Sam and everybody sort of coming together to say, this is what you're going to say. Mm-hmm. And then even though after they wrote that, it sounded a lot like apparently what Sam was saying it, or, you know, Sam would wrote. So then they made her rewrite it and retweet it so that it sounded like it was coming from her. So it sounded like she was just basically put in position to be a puppet, or at least that's what's being portrayed, maybe probably obviously by her defense. But it's pretty crazy. They everybody so far has gotten up there and said that I've committed fraud with Sam Bankman Fried. So talk about like throwing him out of the bus. Nobody's defending that guy.
Does Weso work for TMZ in his spare time? Like,
that'd be great.
He knows the dirt on everything.
How are you not like even reading all of this, the court dockets and stuff? It's just hilarious. It's pretty entertaining.
Don't worry,
It
they'll be
is.
posted in the show notes below, everybody.
Well, we all lived through this. Like we all saw it happen like live, like his ridiculous tweet. Remember he was tweeting one letter at a time for like a day, and everybody was like kind of going wild, like, what the is he gonna say? Like, I mean, we just through all of this stuff. So like to see it all sort of come out and everything's like that was conspiracy theory.
A little bit of closure.
Basically, like called out in court as truth is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nice to get a little bit of closure there.
I just think like the lengths that they went as a team to do so much degeneracy is just unbelievable. So I also have a note here that says that apparently that two accounts were frozen from Alameda in China, and it was a sum over $1 billion. And so they went as far as to try to bribe Chinese officials over $100 million. And the judge, after hearing this entire story, was like, he's not on trial for bribing a Chinese official. This is just Caroline trying to let everyone know how they communicated on Telegram. And I'm just like, or on Signal, sorry. But it's just wild. And then when that didn't work to get the money from those accounts, apparently they hired Thai prostitutes, got them to make accounts on OKX so they could trade against Alameda to try to get that money back. It's just
Wild.
Did they do that
guy
through
was in
Fiverr or
Congress.
something?
Can you hire Thai prostitutes through
prostitutes on-
Fiverr?
I'm checking right
not
now.
through Fiverr, but you can definitely hire Thai prostitutes.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they might.
Do they have like an online marketplace? Like, is it like is there like a Craigslist for Thai prostitutes?
there. I don't know. I don't know. Silk Road is closed, ladies and gentlemen. Can't use your Bitcoin for that.
Need Thai prostitutes to open up illegal perpetual trading accounts on local crypto exchange.
Lord.
All right, here's the thing, Weso. The question I guess that I have to ask is, are these Thai prostitutes better traders than you?
Yes. It sounds like everybody is a better trader than the people who are working at Alameda. Did you see, like, I think they had basically $1 billion loss in one day, and I think they had $100 million loss by some phishing website.
Yeah, but you don't make money if you don't go big.
Okay. They were like putting like their biggest trading days, and I think there was like 69 or $70 million was like the highest revenue day for them. But like the largest loss day was like 900 million.
Wow.
You think someone was betting against them?
I don't know. I also saw that they were they were farming, I think it was $10 billion in yield farms.
Yeah.
So essentially during like the entire last cycle, Alameda was a majority of the mercenary yield farmers.
I remember.
And it said that there was something on her notes about automating yield farming. And I just thought, how funny would it be if there's like options and it had like Beefy on there? But it wasn't there. So she must not have known.
No.
Well, I mean, we know for sure there had to have been like a connection to Luna somewhere in between, because this all was like a chain reaction. Like first Luna went down, then I think it was Celsius, then it was FTX. You know what I mean? So many people lost money in that collapse that just like the sort of like the cracks in the wall started to show, and then the water just broke through. You know, I mean, they were trying everything they could.
Correct.
I think we're kind of
all these losses.
We're seeing that in this market more than anything. Is like if you sort of like show any signs of struggle, then the wolves come after you. They just attack you. And for FTX, it was like I think somebody found out about their insolvency, and it was like, how do we exploit this?
Oh yeah.
And so I think we started seeing that happen. I think that happened with Luna too. They said there was people specifically who sort of ignited that collapse. Mm-hmm. So I just think that there's a whole bunch of people in these markets that are just sort of like looking for the cracks, and as soon as they find one, they have all the capital in the world to attack you. So,
well, it's just TradFi is in the hundreds of billions. Like it's not uncommon for a hedge fund. Like what's BlackRock, like $19 trillion in assets or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it costs them nothing to liquidate like 0.0, I don't know, not even 0.5%, and they can use that money to easily like. I mean, not that they do, but let's say hypothetically naked short,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Easily a crypto asset and close it down. And I mean, like BlackRock has skin in the game as well. Not that I'm accusing them of anything, but institutions are backing different crypto exchanges as we speak, backing USDC. Like they're trying to take over the centralized layers as much as possible. So I mean, there probably was someone that SBF pissed off, or just someone who ran into one of these hedge funds, maybe Citadel or something, and went like, "Oh my God, this guy is an idiot. Like we can get so much money off of shorting FTT. Let's do it." I mean,
yeah.
and even then, like CZ just going on Twitter and being like, "Hey everyone, we're gonna sell all our FTT." I was like, I remember when that happened. I was very lucky because when all of this went down, I'd sold like all my Solana. I sold Luna right before it collapsed. Like
so you caused it. All right,
Jorge. Got some inside information there,
guys.
We just know that Jorge's like in all of the coins. Apparently, he's like super deep into Luna, like FTT.
No.
He's
I didn't have
huge
any
Cardano
FTT.
holder.
I don't have any
Just
Cardano.
wait, man.
Cardano was.
We're gonna do a whole episode on tokens. Jorge holds, man. I can't wait for that.
My portfolio's
Get
very,
out now. We'll call it.
I mean, very small right now, but I'm feeling pretty confident that the turnaround is coming soon. So, I mean, I'm keeping my eyes peeled. But
what makes you confident?
No,
that
I'm not looking at a lot of different tokens at the moment.
Jorge's a huge
3, 2, 1.
Solana holder, a huge Luna holder, a huge ADA holder.
And also,
I was a pretty big degenerate for a little bit. Like I made money on Harmony.
What's the most degen? What's the most degen
yeah.
coin you were in?
Yeah.
The most degen coin I think was so there was DeFi Kingdoms, and then there was
Jewel.
Hold on. No, not Jewel. That
was.
I forget
right?
the name of the token.
That was
I'll
DeFi
put
Kingdoms.
it up on the screen.
was
But
Jewel.
basically, there was a competitor to DeFi Kingdoms, and I just followed the Discord and made gains that way. Like the token went, I think, from like $5 to $30. It was wild. So
yeah.
But right now we're in a bear market, so finding opportunities like that is harder. Personally, with the white paper from the BVM being released, my guess is that going into the next cycle that Bitcoin as a smart contract blockchain and being extremely decentralized is going to be very attractive. And there's already projects building that I'm not going to mention because you guys should do
you
your
have
own
a bag?
research. No, right now I don't.
Bag.
Right now I don't. And I'm
What
going to be
views,
looking.
Jorge, man? You gotta be like, buy this token now.
No, hell no. What do I look like? One of those like, that's something I completely avoid doing.
Buy USDR.
I don't want to. Okay.
Buy gold bars
Okay.
at a discount.
I'm not going to endorse USDR, but fortunately, we have our stablecoin protege, expert, master, animal, creature from down under, Kila, to break down everything going on with what's it called, tangible DAO, and the USDR collapse.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting one. It's one that USDR right now, it's a dollar peg stablecoin. It's not really pegged to the dollar right now. It's trading at 53 cents after a bunch of people are just trying to redeem it. Their DAI reserves were taken up pretty quickly. But then the thing is I think we have to look at what the collateral was behind USDR to really see why this happened. So a couple of the reasons why this happened, and again, just cut me off, or if you have questions or adding on to anything, just hop in. But having off-chain real estate was one of them. It's not very liquid, and also the fact that they were collateralizing the stablecoin at almost 100% of the value of that real estate, that was an issue. Also, like, who determines the value of that real estate is a very difficult one to also talk about. So there's that. They were backing the stablecoin with their own token, the tangible token. So when a stablecoin is backing itself with endogenous collateral, that's already a no-no. Like, you never want to do
It's
that.
called Terra Luna.
It's called Terra Luna.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
You say erogenous collateral? I'm looking that up.
Yeah, erogenous collateral.
I think erogenous like makes you horny, or
No, endogenous.
Collateral.
no,
Isn't that the word? Indigenous? Endogenous.
no, isn't that like
Alignment techniques?
that's like the native people?
We're going to have
of
to
a
go to
land, right?
thesaurus.com right now. What are you trying to say, Kila?
Indigenous. Endogenous.
He's saying that reality-backed stablecoins make him horny. Is what I'm trying to.
Oh my God.
Endogenous.
What about all one
wait.
of the children that found this video?
Endogenous.
What is it?
Now, Kila, I have a question for you.
You go for
so, you USDR, okay, yeah, and you sort of
Oh my God,
you've
don't
sort of
look up
explained it,
images.
was backed partially by illiquid items like real estate. I think they had other valuables, watches, wines, like fine wines and stuff like that, right? So that you're kind of bringing assets, custodial assets, so they're maintaining custodies these assets off chain, and then backing this like stablecoin, which are printing against the value of these assets. And then they also had a big problem was obviously they had their own token, which was part of this backing. And then at a certain degree, they also had their POL, which is protocol owned liquidity,
Yes.
which included
Its own
USDR
token, yeah.
backing itself.
Correct.
Yeah. They also had what was a DAI reserve. So the way the system would work is that if you wanted to exit the system because they couldn't liquidate the real estate assets, the wine, whatever, quickly, that you could just withdraw DAI from their treasury. The problem was that there was like 75 million minted USDR, and there's only like 11 million DAI
Around 12.
in the treasury. Was it 12? So once that DAI is totally withdrawn, you could have a bank run scenario where now there's nothing really liquid to give you for redeeming. And so instead, people are selling USDR against whatever, it's paired with in the market. So stable coins, whatever they could find, which dropped the value. And now it's trading at 53 cents. So the hope would be for the people who own USDR would be obviously that you probably wouldn't want to trade it at less than the backing value,
Correct.
but that you could be in a position where you're holding USDR for quite a while without any exit because it takes time to sort of unwind all of those illiquid assets.
Well, yeah, there's that. It takes a long time to sell 190 homes, especially in the market that it is right now. And then also,
Right.
Right.
And then
Is
also,
it even possible?
they were valuing the homes, or like they were like the value of the homes. They were using 100% of the value of the homes to collateralize the stablecoin, and so that leaves very little room for error. Whether you can get more for the house, less for the house, who really knows? And so there's a lot of room for error. I think for things along these lines, I think you should usually have like a minimum collateral ratio of around 200% if it's illiquid, or maybe even like 250, 300%. They were going at around 100%, which is no bueno.
So
Yeah.
So the idea, though, right, of backing a stablecoin with real world assets, is it just a terrible idea, or was it just not obviously done well?
No, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think there was some flaws in it, because again, the issue that they had is like collateralizing at 100%. They also had, I think, over 20% collateralized by their own token, tangible, which is never a good idea, because if the price starts to go down of your like USD stablecoin, well, then people have less faith in tangible, start selling tangible, and then
It's a spiral.
It's a spiral. Like the collateral that's backing your stablecoin just continues to go down and go down and go down. I think the thing is it's a fine idea if one you're taking those things into consideration, and then also letting people know or making sure people understand the risks of it. Like, hey, you're holding on to this stablecoin. You can make a lot of yield with it, but it may take time. It may take, a couple of months to be able to redeem. I think if you go out about it that way and you make sure that people understand the risks, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think just
What about if, like, in order to get the yield from the stablecoin, you had to like lock up the funds, sort of like if you were to issue a like a bond or a CD or something like that, so you can have access to the yield, right? But then the stables itself that you've like sort of minted or bought off the market are sort of locked, and now as a DAO, like Tangible can sort of like see, hey, where are the unlock events happening, and they can sort of diversify or like manage risk associated with that. So if they're seeing a large amount of unlocked USDR, then they can maybe become more liquid to be able to handle people trying to exit the system. I think that the fact that everything was completely liquid, and USDR was all completely liquid, and at any one time, like a whale could exit and completely destroy the reserves, there's always this issue of, okay, well, now we're going to get to the liquid assets. So beyond the fact of like, hey, backing a protocol or a stablecoin with your own token, obviously no. But even to a certain extent, like it was just a few percent. I think that's how Frax started anyways, right?
Yeah.
And they're obviously working. I don't even think they're close to that. I think like 95% backed, or
Correct.
maybe they're 100% backed now by stable. But I think that the stat whole system has proven to like sort of not work. But I think that the whole idea around what USDR was trying to do was novel, and I think a cool idea.
Same.
I just think that execution, now people should be able to learn from this and be able to execute maybe like something a little bit better, a little bit thoughtful, where you can have maybe the strategy of being able to offload people out of the system if you see a lot of redemptions coming.
Correct. I think what they could have done is with the DAI reserves, they could have had like a variable rate. As more redemptions are being taken, well, then maybe what you do is you basically charge people more for redeeming their USDR, and so then that might have slowed things down. And I mean, slowing things down in a bank run is valuable.
Or like, instead of like taking away people's capital, you could have said, hey, like if a certain amount of the reserves start to get away, then it's going to be like a 14-day delay.
Yeah.
In order to redeem. So like once we get down to like 75% reserves left, now you have to wait 7 days in order to get it. And then once it gets down to like 14 days, you have to 50%, you have to wait however many days. Or like there could have been another way of like slowing redemptions.
Correct.
In order to accommodate the flow.
Right, but I think there's a lot of legs in real world assets. It's a market that I think over the next run, a lot of people will try and kind of perfect that model. Hopefully they learn from the USDR situation and make some tweaks to it, and don't collateralize it with some risky assets. But like you said, Weso, I commend them for at least going after a market that's pretty cool.
There is like there's like so many different ways to go about this, but you're familiar with like Alchemix and how that system works, or no? So you can like put up, Alchemix.
No, that's not how you say it. It's Alchemex.
Alchemix.
Like Alchem Mexican?
Okay.
Alchemix.
That's where you get the Alchemexican goats from,
Hey.
Anyways, you're familiar with it. What you do is you deposit, like, let's say ETH, and then you borrow against the future interest rate. So like if you want to borrow 50% of the asset, it'll basically continuously pay off the loan with whatever the yield farming is doing underneath. So it's like non-liquidatable borrows. And I wonder if something similar to that with like real world asset interest rates is possible, where essentially you're going to offer 15% interest. You can actually get that out of the market. People can put up their capital, borrow stables against it, have unliquidatable capital in order for you then to utilize for whatever the investment is, and have this like essentially interest that you're getting pay off the
loan
borrows.
Yeah, I mean that's a more sustainable model. I think, it was a tricky situation, and I think also like the fact of them needing so much liquidity as well to help keep the system going was an interesting piece as well, because I don't know exactly how, I don't know all of it, but from an outside view, what might have happened is, again, they may have minted some USDR before actually having the home, converted it to stable coins, went and bought the home, and then kind of collateralized the USDR that they minted after the fact. That, in my eyes, is not super kosher, but I don't know if that's what was going on. But to do that, you need a lot of liquidity, which is why they had such a big, curve pool, which is why they also helped start the Pearl protocol, make sure there was deep liquidity, and also one of the reasons why the yields were so amazing on Pearl.
Yeah.
Do you guys, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's a little like concerning, like no offense to, anything going on with this project, but I would find it a red flag if they didn't over collateralize, real estate or anything like that. It should be abundantly clear that any asset like that is incredibly illiquid. So I don't know if they're going to get back, of the user base that they've lost, but we'll see. Hey, things can evolve over time.
They're just killing the stable. So I think like their game plan is to make everybody whole and then kill the stable.
Yeah.
And then I think just maybe like tokenize real world assets, which is
correct. I think like a basket.
I mean, they already have the infrastructure for that, but
correct.
What was the basket? I didn't read through.
It's like, I think a basket of like maybe U.S. real estate or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but it's not going to be pegged. Their token is not going to be pegged to U.S. dollar.
So is that kind of like a REIT?
Yeah, I would imagine it being like a REIT. Again, this is, I don't know exactly what it's going to be. This is just baseline conversations with the team. But yeah, they're planning on continuing, which is good. I think also, again, there's likely more collateral backing the stablecoin than just 53%. I'd like to believe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know how much they have like in reserve to help make people whole, but yeah, they're working on trying to rectify.
This is also an important place for people who you have to have big time investors in order to have these types of concepts, because if things do go wrong, there has to be some sort of backstop, right? And usually and traditionally, that would be like whoever your major investors are, who can kind of come in and say, hey, we're going to plug the hole. We're going to fix this, and then you're going to give it all back to us in shares or whatever.
Right.
In
Just
the
like
future.
UST.
Yeah, I think even Jump did that with Wormhole and their whole situation. So you got to have really strong investment backing in order to, I think, pull something like this off. So, who knows how the system or how it all turns out. And I know that obviously right now, probably it's trading at a portion of, the total value, but it's very possible that they, continue on this path of trying to tokenize real world assets and have investment capital sort of like come in and help them through this whole, stablecoin situation. So
I think
hopefully for everybody who has USDR, that's what happens. But
I think what was also really interesting was like there was a period of time during the whole DEPEG that like you could potentially buy like gold bars, watches, wine at like
for
a very
half
steep,
off. It's like a
very
sale.
steep discount. I don't know.
How many watches did you get, TBC?
If you ever get
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah,
Is
if
like
they
I don't
let
know
you
if you could
redeem
actually
them,
redeem. But
And that's also, it was also a point of conflict, right? Like you have now the custodian of all these assets is the same as, like I think like having a third party custodian probably for the protocol would have been better, because now like they can pretty much pick and choose who they redeem the assets for, I'm guessing. So if you bought the asset for half off, it's clearly not supposed to be half off.
correct.
They're probably not going to let you redeem that, I'm guessing. So how they handle that situation will be interesting, but
I don't know if TBC will ever get to see all the Rolex watches he bought that day.
It's really good
Well,
deals.
He's wearing 4 of them.
He's just trying to look like Richard Hart.
I'm actually
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait for my new Twitter account. Look at guys, check out all the Rolexes I just got on
X
clearance.
TBC. It's X.
Oh, God.
But we have to bow down to
Anyway,
our
for
new
those of
god,
you on
Elon
X-
Musk.
Wait, hold on. For those of you still tuned in who showed up for the Thai prostitutes, I managed to sit through the entire story about endogenous collateral constraints on the leverage cycle.
What was that?
Endogenous collateral constraints on the leverage cycle. Is that the hell you guys talking about? I'm like, why are you doing it? I was reading like Yale grad papers about whatever. I thought it was going to be like erogenous and like sexy storytelling. Turns out
That's what I thought he originally said. Is that what you said, Roger?
Turns out it's a whole like we explain how leverage trends to boost asset prices to create bubbles and show how leverage can be endogenously determined in equilibrium and how it depends on what are you guys talking about? Look at that guy over there, dude. He's getting all like it's like
Yeah.
He read that on Twitter
how
today.
how many PhDs do you have? Kila?
He just Googled that word before he came on.
Yeah, exactly. Endogenous. Endogenous.
Oh my god. I'll probably.
Endogenous Thai prostitutes, Yeah. What does endogenous mean?
I just don't understand why they had to go to Thai prostitutes. Like, why? That's the part that I don't understand. How does
Who else
that?
would you go to, Jorge?
Having
don't-
an external cause or origin.
Like-
That would be exactly the proper use. Endogenous Thai prostitutes.
Maybe
We should make that a T-shirt one day.
Could you wait? So, like, could you redeem Thai prostitutes at like half the price when
If-
FTT was collapsing?
I don't know
Well,
if
you
that's
can't
how it
trade
worked.
women or human beings on the open market.
Yeah, I don't think they were using them as
illegal
collateral.
and
They were-
unethical.
They were just using them.
I don't know what Sam was doing.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. You're not going to go ahead and use an accountant, or you're not going to go ahead and use go and say, "Hey, Weso, let me pay you a little bit to create an account." You go to people who have no idea. They're willing to do whatever for money, and
Yeah, but they had to have like a connection, right? Like somebody was like actively going to Thai prostitutes, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I know a few. Do you need them?"
bro, have you been to Thailand?
I wonder how that meeting went. Like, was it Caroline Ellison? Who,
Wait. No,
brokered
I
this?
haven't. Kila, can you please tell me about it?
You can find. You don't need like a connect in Thailand to find Thai prostitutes, and they are willing to do anything for money,
Will they open up an account on OKX for me?
bro. That's like the easiest thing that they'll do.
I just want to know how this went down. Like, do you think it was like Sam in Thailand? Was it like Gary Wong or Wang or however you say his name? Like they're just going like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I have $10,000 with your name on it, and I want you to make an OKX account for
You think
me."
it cost them $10,000 per prostitute?
I don't know. I was just picking
Couple
a random
hundred
number.
bucks. Couple $100. You have them use their ID, verify KYC, done. You have the account. That's all it is.
That got real quick.
And I would say also, if you've never been to Thailand, if you're ever going to go with one of those Thai prostitutes, make sure you see their ID anyways.
How do I know it's real though, Kila? Give me like the play-by-play
So
here.
like there's a hologram. Like there's a hologram that when you
Okay.
shine it in the light.
do I need a special flashlight?
No. I mean, just point it up to any light, and if you
Yeah,
just,
it's any light. Okay.
yeah, you just
What's
move it
the
around.
hologram?
You'll be able to
Do
tell.
you carry that little
What-
flashlight with you everywhere you go?
You don't need a special flashlight.
Yeah.
Would you keep up, Jorge?
Yeah. You can just
You
use
just
your
use the
phone's
sunlight.
flashlight.
And
Yeah.
it's in Thailand, so the sun's always there, right?
Sun is always there, and you have an iPhone. Like, just turn on the flashlight there.
That's true. Okay, so now I've looked at it and I see that it has like a nice sticker on it.
Okay, yeah.
Anybody
yeah.
want to bet
No.
when Jorge goes to East Denver that a Thai prostitute's going to sit next to him at a bar?
It's. I'm not getting involved in all this FTX stuff or whatever it
Start
is.
talking crypto with him again?
Well, okay. After you check the sticker, then you want to check
Okay.
the sex. So if the sex matches,
If it says yes,
My God.
no, not yet. We're not there yet. If the sex matches what you believe them to be, then you go into the consent, and if the consent is yes,
Who is this show for anymore? I don't
I
understand
thought.
what we're doing here.
There's
This show is so niche. It's like you got to be able to understand the creation of algorithmic stablecoins.
no, we broke it down.
Like, so you had to graduate from MIT, and you also have to be filthy enough to want to hang out with Thai prostitutes.
Isn't that where all the employees of FTX graduated from? MIT?
Yeah, and
Pretty
they were
sure.
hanging out with Thai prostitutes. Seems like it's perfect synergy. I don't understand.
The Deep
What if
House
all-
is a family show.
What if by hanging out with all these Thai prostitutes are actually like excellent degen traders or something?
They're probably better than Caroline was.
They probably know more about crypto
They
than
absolutely
I do.
are.
Some of them may even take crypto.
Yeah.
Some of them may have
Right.
what?
May even accept
Take
crypto.
crypto.
Yeah. Like instead of paying in bot.
What's bot trading at these days? Yeah,
I mean, it's going through inflation, I'm
About-
sure. Everything is falling against the US dollar right now. You look at the DYDX, thing looks like this, and then pump.
Wait, can you do? I missed it. Can you do that again?
Oh, actually, it's been fairly stable.
Or should I say it slowly? TBC, would you prefer it slowly?
Can we get this shit over with? Let's move. Next.
Honestly, it's
Okay.
been,
Jorge,
it's been-
when's the start of the next bull market?
The next,
Yeah. What should I be buying?
I'm not.
What are you
I don't
buying,
give. I
Jorge?
don't give. Oh, by the way, this is a great moment to mention. Nothing here is financial advice or legal advice.
Yeah, don't.
Especially
go to
whatever
Thai
TBC
prostitutes.
says.
nothing is sexual advice either.
I have not taught anyone how to use a Taiwanese. Is it Taiwanese?
No, that's
Taiwan.
Thai, not
different, bro.
Taiwanese.
Not Taiwan.
and it,
Does Taiwan have prostitutes?
Probably.
Everywhere is prostitutes.
Okay.
How do you know?
What do you
They
think
never work?
Epcot is for? I'm just kidding.
Disney World?
I'm just playing.
Disney World. Hold on. Let me look this
Disney World prostitutes.
up. Epcot.
No, that was
Epcot,
just a joke.
Taiwanese.
Like you go to each booth in Epcot, and there's like a prostitute from a different place in the world.
I heard
It seems
Queens.
like a
Who was
good
that
promo.
Queens
joke
in New
for?
York is
That's
having-
probably a good promo.
There's,
Come
a,
to Epcot.
there's an issue in Queens, New York.
If Disney's
about
looking for a
prostitutes.
CMO,
Oh my god. All right. So moving on. So in the vein of exploits, we also saw the the collapse. Well, I don't know if I would call it the collapse, but we saw the exploit of Stars Arena, which is basically the Avalanche version of Friendtech or Fork, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to start this off with you, Weso, to tell us your vast, unbelievable wisdom and knowledge about this exploit and what went down.
does anybody have a friend tech?
What the hell is Friendtech, Jorge?
Did I say it right? Is it Friendtech?
No. Yeah, it's friend tech.
Friendster?
No, friend tech.
Friendtech?
Isn't that-
Obviously, TBC definitely doesn't because TBC doesn't even know how to I don't know how he does our Twitter because honestly, I didn't like.
X.
Do you
It's
even
X,
have a phone
sir.
or like? Are you on? You have a computer? Or are you like?
Don't worry about
Are
it.
you at the
man. I got
library right
I,
now? Or
I
like, how do
hired
you?
I hired Taiwanese prostitutes through 5-star to do 5-star.
5-star.
It's
Okay.
Thai
Anyway,
prostitutes.
Kila, do you have a friend tech?
No, I don't have a front tech.
Does anybody we know actually have?
I'm
a
pretty
Friendtech?
sure it's only people who are like have an active OnlyFans account are the ones who
Well,
have.
what's
a
the
friend
purpose then? If you already have an OnlyFans account,
tech. So do you know what friend tech is or no?
are you talking to me? Because
yeah, I'm
obviously
talking
I
to
have no
you.
clue what.
Weso, we're
No, but
waiting
I'll-
for your beautiful explanation.
You can buy shares. So like like Twitter personalities will like put themselves on friend tech.
We just had a conversation that you can't buy people. Now you can buy shares
You
of a
can
person.
buy shares of people, right? But every share is like continuously more expensive. So as more shares are sold, the next share is always going to be more expensive than the previous share. And so
Is
sells your
that
share, then it
how?
becomes cheaper.
Wait, hold on. Is that how Thai prostitutes are charged?
No.
Maybe.
Usually it's
Supply and demand,
It's
right?
the inverse with Thai prostitutes. So the
Oh, okay.
the more people that buy, then the less expensive they become.
So once you leverage them up,
Is that just an industry thing?
Yeah, that's just an industry thing.
So anyways, Apple friend tech like lit based on fire. I mean, they had like it was pretty much a majority of their transactions at one point. Because people were like constantly utilizing friend tech, all the Twitter personalities, like normies, right? People who weren't even in crypto before were getting on because they can see a way to make money, right? You put yourself, people buy shares of you, and then are speculating on you as an influencer, whether it's
But how do you-
Twitter or
how do you
OnlyFans
make
or
money?
whatever.
Basically,
so
if you
how
like,
does your share go up?
because
Bro,
it's
like,
basically like you
if
just
you would've
hope that
bought-
people buy at a higher price than
Correct.
what you bought it at. Basically,
I think you get a fee. You get like a residual fee for everything that's sold.
Oh, so it's a scam.
It's like you buy a piece of Mr. Beast because you believe that he is like his stock is going to go up in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea. I don't know if the execution is proper. Like, I don't know.
Wait. So wait. Mr. Beast is a real world asset,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm buying a piece of a real world asset.
Yes.
Yes.
So if Mr. Beast starts to decline, how do I liquidate Mr. Beast?
You could sell it,
You
You could sell
before-
his Friendtech shares.
Yeah.
and the price of the front texture goes down.
And again,
so
it's not.
how
it's
is
not-
this different than what happened with
It's
tangible?
not pegged to anything. So the issue with tangible is like, if it wasn't a stable coin, fine, it's trading at 53 cents. Like people just buy it, whatever. But if it's supposed to be pegged to an asset, like the US dollar, well
Okay.
then that's an issue.
So brainstorm, guys.
Yeah, if
Brainstorm.
USDR was
we
really
cre-
just a
wait, hold on. I just said brainstorm. We create we call it peg tech, and we take celebrities and we peg them to the dollar.
That
we
sentence
sell-
doesn't sound right. But okay.
Pegging celebrities?
So how do you collateralize that?
I don't know, but I'm going to finish reading this paper from Yale here in a second.
Okay,
It's speculative.
your idea's written down.
Okay.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah, can we get into Stars Arena and the exploit with Weso's
So-
new sultry microphone?
Avalanche hasn't had a whole lot of attention lately.
What?
Just
What's Avalanche?
yeah, exactly. So it means the bear market, it had its whole cycle. It's kind of, not a whole lot of people playing around on Avalanche. And base was going wild. So I think the CEO, the founder of Avalanche, really wanted something like Friendtech on Avalanche. And so it seems very obvious that he has backing of this Stars Arena, which was supposedly not a fork of Friendtech, but it's basically Friendtech on Avalanche. So it launches and it goes wild. Everybody, the personality is picking it up. A whole lot of Twitter people are picking it up. Everybody's using it. Everybody's sort of talking about it. Values are sort of going crazy. And then all of a sudden somebody just exploits it, right? But it's only for $200,000 or something very minimal.
No, I think it was for
And
three.
people-
I think it was for 3 million. But at the end of the day,
No. This is the first exploit.
No, the first one. The first
sorry.
one.
No. So
It was
there's
like $3 at first.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was pretty much nothing. So then Eamon, I think is it Eamon? That's how you say his name. The founder comes
We'll
out.
put it on the screen.
Comes out and he goes, "Hey guys, it's all good, okay? They're pretty much the exploiter's stupid. He spent 20 cents for every 4 cents he's getting, and it's really not even an exploit. It's already fixed. Stars Arena team's on it. It's good to go. Let's get back in the arena, right?" The whole pep talk, everybody's stoked. Hey, we're gonna get back to trading in Stars Arena. And it's hopefully that whole SpongeBob meme where it's one day later,
One day later.
bam, exploited for $3 million. So whatever the fix was just an additional exploit. And then
Do you even think they looked? Do you actually think they looked at the code?
the thing is that it's completely unverified contracts. So this
that makes
this doesn't even meet Beefy standards by any sort of sense. So there's no way that you should be even playing around with this stuff. People do this under the guise of, hey, we have trade secrets or
Proprietary.
something that we don't want to competitive advantage we don't want to give away with verified contracts. But then you have really scandalous stuff where you get the entire thing drained and $3 million is sort of missing. And it's the upgrade that you put in the system. Looks very suspicious, right? To say that it's not an insider and nobody really can verify since it's unverified code. So then I guess, Eamon obviously has to come back and go, hey, it got exploited. That's, not good. But, we're going to make sure that, we have their back and all will be okay. And so I think it's, Avalanche said that they'd back the 3 million. And he said it was something oh, it's really not that big of a deal. It's only $3 million. And then people were sort of hammering him because $3 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it was kind of you're making it sound like it's nothing. No, it's just $3
Well, I
million.
mean, in crypto, $3 million exploit, most people don't get out of bed. They're like, yeah, I'm not worried about that.
So I guess the most recent news is that they were able to negotiate with the exploiter and he's going to keep a 10% bounty.
Yep.
And so they're going to be made pretty much whole beyond the 10%, which I guess that they're going to fill the gap for users. And then they're going to continue with Stars Arena.
So are they going to verify their contracts?
Of course not, probably not.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
so it's a scam.
I would never recommend ever interacting with an unverified contract. I'm just going to.
Okay, look. I think when it comes to
By the way,
unverified
just want to
contracts,
mention,
just
congratulations, Stars Arena.
Yes. I think the thing is if it's unverified contracts, just know the risk. If you put your money in, shady shit could be happening. You could lose all of your money, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying don't interact with unverified contracts. I'm just saying be very cautious.
Yeah, I think we're all saying that. Don't listen to Kila. Just don't do it, people. For the people who are
if you wanna be
still
a
paying
degen-
attention.
Yeah, if you want to be a
this
DJ, be a
episode.
DJ. It's the beauty of the free world.
I'm not going to kill your fun.
Yeah.
You can go give the scammers all your money.
Yeah, okay.
But
It
by
just-
doing so, if you have fun in the process, do it. It's like going to a casino. You know you're gonna fucking lose some money, but you do it just to have some fun.
I have fun getting robbed all the time.
Lord,
Oh, I've got some.
have mercy.
I've got some good robbing stories.
Come on.
But okay, so now the way the situation was handled. So if you're like the founder of this blockchain, and you come out and then you essentially you say, hey, exploit wasn't really even an exploit. No problem. Everybody get back in the arena. And then like a day later it's exploited. Like, how do you feel? Do you think like maybe the PR person could say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes a little bit? What do you think, TBC?
I just don't understand crypto anymore. I don't understand the people who are in it. I don't understand the people that build it. Listen, I don't know crap about code or anything, but I've worked with Weso long enough to know you do not trust anything. Just stop interacting with all these shady, janky products, man. It's just, to me, it's just insane. I don't get it. At this point, how do I buy T-bills again? Can someone show me how to do that? Is that
Oh, because that's so much less shady.
Is that just buy Tether instead?
Isn't that just buying T-bills?
No, because
Find
T-bills you
T-bills
get.
without the
right?
yield.
Yeah, you get yield on the
basically.
T-bills.
Oh yeah, they take all your yield. That's
Yeah,
right.
go and buy USDM Mountain
What's-
Protocol.
what- is that-
Oh yeah.
Wait, there's a what?
Yeah, USDM
Brand new.
Mountain.
What is it?
Could you explain it to Weso?
basically
I
it's
can do it.
basically a stable coin backed by T-bills that rebases to give you your yield.
It's auto compounding,
Or I mean,
right?
it either rebases, I think, or you can do the wrapped version, and then it's basically the same as every other fucking wrapper.
Is it verified contracts?
It's super centralized. I have not checked the contracts, but I'm assuming that it would be.
So
verified.
basically, you can buy this on the blockchain and it gets you the yield
yes,
from the T-bill?
yes. Yeah.
Sounds like, it sounds like it would probably get hit by the SEC. That sounds like a mutual fund,
I mean,
a money
look,
mutual fund.
I
I don't know. I just
who knows
know
what kind of
that
licenses they have.
What is this? We've been in this an hour and 10 minutes, and Jorge hasn't mentioned his best friend from the SEC.
No,
We're never gonna go to
I'm
that.
not going to. I'm just saying that sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
from what I know is that they're doing everything by the books as much as they can. So it is what it is. Or you know what you can also do? You can just go with DAI, get S DAI, and then you get 8%. You're good.
It's 11% on Gnosis Chain.
What?
Oh shit! Well,
That's
there you go.
wild. Did
you see
11%.
that?
There you go. There is your exposure to
Where's it at?
T-bills.
It's on Gnosis Chain.
So I'm only losing then 4%, 0.4% a year to.
Inflation, assuming they can
Yes,
keep it
thank you.
going for long enough.
Yeah.
When are we gonna have like fun crypto again? Is it ever gonna
Yeah.
happen?
And speaking
Or are we
speaking
just-
of Avalanche, I'm surprised that we haven't talked about this yet. But Trader Joe, guys.
Oh, yeah, the
they got sued.
Jorge, what are you doing?
I can't believe I
Jorge,
forgot
how the fuck
that.
am I
They
doing
got
your job?
sued.
How funny is that? The funniest thing is like the amount of cope from the Trader Joe people who are like, this decentralized exchange is totally like wrecking our brand. They even have a guy in a red cape.
It's just
I feel like someone's got to go to a Trader Joe store and poll the people as they leave it, asking if they've heard of.
Have you ever heard of Trader Joe decentralized crypto exchange?
And they're gonna be like, "Wait, what? Is that like another store or something? Like selling fish?"
so. Does Trader Joe like have to pay like Trader Joe's or something, or is it just like a cease and desist?
Well, no, I think they sent out a bunch of cease and desists,
Yeah.
and they were ignored. And
Where did-
so
where
now
did
they
they go?
have like an actual lawsuit.
Where do they send them to? Do you publish it on the blockchain? You
No,
just
no.
cease and
So they
desist?
found
Avex?
the guy who registered the domain,
Yeah, yeah. I think
and
he lives
then
in
they sent
Singapore?
him. Yeah, they sent him the cease and desist letters.
Singapore. Okay.
That's what it was. And then I guess like now they have a lawsuit opened up in California against the guy in Singapore who they named. Oh wait. We have a laugh track?
But no, there's actually a live audience watching this show.
You know, actually, the best
A family show.
the best part about this is that it was maybe two years ago. Harry Ye, he asked me to connect him to Trader Joe, so I did. And so when I saw this whole thing going on, I remembered something that was fantastic, and so I looked back at my archives of things, and I was reading messages, and they went like this: Trader Joe. This is Harry, right? Trader Joe. It's a great name, but aren't you guys worried about trademark infringement? And then he sends like a, and then he sends.
I was
like
always wondering what was going on there.
A screenshot of Trader Joe, and he's like, "I used to shop there." LOL. And then people from Trader Joe was like, "Are you a lawyer? What's your point?" And he's like, "No, I'm a businessman that understands trademark law." And then it just continues on, like, kind of back and forth. But I just found that hilarious.
There was something in the lawsuit specifically that said that the Trader Joe people, by being anonymous, were purposefully breaking the law and then remaining anonymous to basically skirt the law that they're breaking. So saying that essentially that if you are anonymous or pseudo-anonymous or whatever, making it hard for people to find out who you are, that essentially you're breaking the law, which I thought was sort of dumb.
Yeah, super dumb.
And I know like they have something to go after with them because, you know, they obviously want to, they're probably frustrated that they can't find out the whole team.
Frustrated.
Well, this kind of brings up an ethical question, right? Or like a legal, I guess a real legal question. Because like in theory, right, Trader Joe's should be like a DAO, and it should be decentralized and, you know, all this other jargon. Meanwhile, like a centralized company, which is actually a really nice store, by the way, not a sponsor. Come on, reach out to us. Anyways, you know, sues, like, who do you sue? Do you sue
listen,
all the
lesson
people who hold the
here of
token?
this entire episode.
How does that work?
I mean, that's
No.
that's kind of what happened with the UkiDAO case.
We're still waiting to hear more on that. But, you know, it'll be a fun upcoming episode for everyone who loves the D-Files.
Yeah.
Anyway, children, the lesson here is when you start a DAO and you start a website or whatever, you buy a domain, hire a Thai prostitute to register the domain.
Stop.
All right? That's literally
We've
what
like
we're
kind of
telling you
walked
here.
through the steps, like
This
exactly
is
how
this
to.
is
Exactly.
We're going to get censored in Thailand, guys. Come on now.
no, like
They're very aware. It's part of the ecosystem.
this is the legal advice that is provided to you by this level of show right here.
Also, like, I'm no lawyer at all, but when it comes to trademarking,
Are you sure?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I'm way too dumb to be a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer, guys.
At all.
But this is how you get Taiwanese prostitutes.
Not Taiwanese, Thai prostitutes.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
whatever. I mean,
But I thought that trademarks were for specific industries. So it's
No,
like,
trademarks are for brands.
yeah, no,
Specific
okay,
brands.
okay, but I thought,
okay, but is Trader Joe the same thing as Trader Joe's?
It's a good
It's
question.
one of
Oh,
those
that is a
things
good
where
question.
it's similar enough that the argument could be made that that business, which has no affiliation to Trader Joe's, is trying to gain success or make money or some type of financial gain by using their name. So that's more likely if Trader Joe's spends millions of dollars on lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, by the way, so not legal advice, but I would imagine that their lawyers are smart enough to make that connection. Now, granted, we can't like prove the mens rea of the people who maybe built Trader Joe. Mens rea is a Latin term. It just means like if the state of mind, like if they were on purpose saying we're going to make a Dex with the same name as Trader Joe's. But either way, I mean, the writing's on the wall. I doubt they would need to prove something like that. And you just told us that Harry sent a message to these guys talking about this. I mean, I'm pretty sure if
years
the lawyer
ago.
finds a video, they're going to use it.
oh,
So
Oh yeah, this is going to be a great video to show in
oh
court.
yeah,
by
my
the
bad,
way.
my bad, Trader Joe.
This is all satire.
Yeah.
Hey, if you use Trader Joe's because you shop at Trader Joe, can you leave a message in the comments below? I just want to know if it impacted your yield farming based on your actual shopping habits. You know, if you like buying what is Trader Joe?
organic, plant-based,
pretending to be
burgers
organic food,
and,
right?
Like,
Yeah.
We don't kill whales at our store. So if that's what you're looking for, you know, green yield farming, let us know in the comments because I'm interested to see if there's actually an influence there because maybe I'll start up like a Coca-Cola's DAO or
Yeah, or it could be the opposite, right? Like, let us know if you shop at Trader Joe's because you used to farm on Trader Joe.
yeah, right?
Right? Because I mean, if there's a bunch of
Right, like-
if there's a bunch of people that say, you know what, I never knew about Trader Joe until I was farming on Trader Joe. Well, then maybe Trader Joe can make the case like, hey, we're sending people your way. We're
I don't
increasing your
understand the
revenue.
lawsuit. Like, I think there's a marketing opportunity here that they've both
I
completely.
think,
What
I,
if-
honestly, I
what
think
if-
Like, you should offer coupons.
No. What if you can go to Trader Joe and you can buy everything at Trader Joe with Joe?
Yeah. Like, see, this is
I mean,
Ooh, what about this? What
Trader
about this,
Joe's.
guys? Like, no,
Wait,
no, no. Okay.
Which one is it? Trader Joe.
So you deposit
reach out to us. We'll help you.
you deposit funds into Trader Joe, and that generates yield.
Okay.
That then pays for your groceries throughout the week.
I actually think there is a whole bunch of synergies here, and they're all going to like waste all their money in court when they could be making a ton more money by just thinking how they can work together.
For real.
Like, you could get a rewards card,
Yeah.
like an NFT that you could stake.
Maybe you can
Earn
get like
real stake.
boosted yield if you have a certain amount of groceries bought at Trader Joe.
guys, I think it's plain and simple. It's an easy lawsuit to win, and Trader Joe has a lot of money, and I
Do they
I
have
don't
more
think it's
money
that
than Trader
easy.
Joe's?
also let's say Trader Joe the Dex gets
He fell out.
exploited, right? Or God forbid, but let's say it does. You know, it's the association, the name. Then Trader
okay.
Joe goes in
What if-
articles and news.
What if Trader Joe's, the grocery store, has a riot that comes through it?
right?
Or the CEO comes out and says something like very like I don't know,
racist,
homophobic or
right?
something. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that technically ruins the reputation of the Dex.
True.
So really, like,
True.
can it go both directions here?
Or they could go and say something about like pro-Israel or pro like Palestine, and then like
Yeah.
and then there you
Making
go.
some sort of political statement. Yeah.
anything,
That's unnecessary. Uncalled for.
anything.
Who's the CEO of Trader Joe?
Well, Trader,
Joe.
so the actual backstory about Trader Joe is great. There's actually two German
hope.
brothers. Yeah, two German
Wait,
brothers.
you know the background?
Yeah.
The family is Theo Alchabar. I can't say.
I'm not sure what the name is, but I know the backstory is two German brothers. One actually they had a fight, and so one actually is the owner of Aldi, and then the other one is the owner of Trader Joe, and so
Those are massively
God,
different.
dude. Oh
Those
my
are
God,
massively
oh my
different.
God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Weso, dude. I'm gonna call Aldi later,
Okay.
and we're gonna set up a meeting with
Aldi
them
Dex.
to set up the Aldi DAO,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna create an Aldi token. And it's gonna be great because then you could
We need
get
to
a real
no,
token,
we need to get an
and you can put it into
Aldi-
shopping carts. So you get the shopping cart with the Aldi token.
Yeah, no, we need an Aldi decentralized exchange. That way, when the brothers meet at like, whatever the next holiday is, the Trader Joe guy sits down and he goes, "Oh man, you never believe this like stupid ducks." And he goes, "You're joking. This literally is happening to me right now. There's the Aldi's Dex."
This could be the thing.
He's like, "Do you want to use my playbook?" First, you got to find out who registered the domain.
Jorge, can you look this? I'm not on Facebook. There's an Aldi Dex on Facebook.
Oh my god.
There what?
Should
already
we
a thing.
send it? Should we send like an email to the Aldi's people and be like, "Hey, I don't know if the brothers are talking, but there's sort of an Aldi's Dex as well. So if you guys want to join the lawsuit."
We don't want this Trader Joe Aldi thing to turn into another Middle East Gaza thing. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Like between the brothers?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
This is how it starts, right? 100 years from now, horrible things
We
could
don't
happen
need the
if we don't-
grocery wars.
No, that would be
We don't
terrible.
need it.
That would be terrible. But I think, look, at the end of the day, pretty easy solution if things come down to it. You just call the Dex Trader Joseph, and then, I mean, to me, that skirts the issue.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to change it to like Joe's.
Are they
or something.
paying you?
No,
You should
well,
get some
no.
money for
Kila
that.
was a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kila, go out
He's
there
a
and get the
solution.
domain
He's a
for Trader
solutions
Joseph.
guy.
Or this. Yeah, I'm a solutions guy. If you want to be inclusive, you could go with Trader Joanne, and that way it's like a female.
Oh,
You know
shit,
what?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and you can keep the same guy as like the logo
Boom.
because it doesn't matter, right? You
exactly.
don't know. I mean,
That's
He
right.
just was going through a Josephmation.
Have fun editing this episode,
God.
Jorge.
Why do you got to do this to me, guys? You go ahead and you talk about the war. You go ahead and you talk about Trader Joanne, Thai prostitutes. You've made my life incredibly difficult.
Sorry.
But you know what?
The next 15 minutes are just going to be me swearing.
Please don't. God. Maybe I should just
Why do
cover.
we bleep it? We don't need to bleep it. Do we?
It's funnier that way. It's funnier.
Okay, it is. It does make it funny.
That's now where we're just make sure you edit this part out. This part's important. This is how the magic's made. Wait, the jam's made. What's that saying?
We don't want to see like show how the sausage is stuffed.
The sausages, like the Thai prostitutes.
All right. Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
Okay, we're good.
I feel good.
Let's go back to talking about androgynous collateral constraints in the leverage cycle.
Oh my God. Well, look.
Maybe you could cut like that part of the episode out. That could be part 2. And we could just sell that to the one person in the world that understands that conversation. Which is most likely to people from...
Bro, I think it's important for people to know, especially going into the next cycle, if they're looking at real world assets, like real world asset backed tokens. It's important to know.
I think real world assets is going to be a huge part in the next cycle. Like, I remember when I was at ETH Toronto.
So we should buy them.
I can't recall the name of these people, but I met several people. There was a guy I met who, God, I wish I remember his name. He's from Dubai, and he was telling me how he manages real estate, and they're making a project to put the real estate on the blockchain. I suppose it's like NFTs or it's tokens, and I mean, I think that's going to be a massive industry because there's so many people that want exposure to real estate, but they can't get exposure. They can't make enough money to buy a house, you know. So I mean, just stuff like that, I could see being very popular.
Can't make enough money to buy a house, so they buy an NFT of a house.
Yeah.
Okay, like the NFT is supposed to just be the title of the house.
TBC. I gotta ask you a serious question. No, I gotta ask you a serious question.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Would you like your landlord to be a DAO?
Oh my God, dude. I can't even imagine. That would be the greatest event ever. 2,000 people yelling at you.
Pay your electric bill.
At the same time, you're just trying to get your heat working.
Yeah.
Again.
TBC wakes up in the middle of the night. His fridge is just like totally broke, right? He's like, I gotta call the DAO. He goes to Snapshot, puts up a thing that says, "Hey, my fridge is broke. Would it be possible for you guys to get somebody to come out here to fix it?" 5 voting days later, and 4 Discord arguments that were
Guys, we
moderated.
made quorum. We made quorum, but it wasn't enough to actually accept the proposal.
They decided to decline the proposal, and they asking for pictures.
This is giving me anxiety.
Dude, Jorge, the next episode is just all about how awful it is working for a DAO. All right,
It is. It is.
I love
it's
the
terrible.
flexibility. It's nice.
shut up. It's because you just stop.
What
all right? No,
flexibility?
save it for the
What
next.
flexibility do you have as a DAO?
Yeah, dude. Seriously, you guys remember from Office Space when Peter goes in and he's like, "I got 8 different bosses." Do you remember this? He's talking to the Bobs. What are you guys, like 15 years old or some shit?
Yeah, I know the pops.
Okay, so like working for a DAO is that, but instead of like it's 8,000 bosses, and everybody is unhappy about everything, constantly blaming you and telling you to do stuff. And why don't you do? And remember, everyone in a DAO is an expert at everything. So,
And definitely the DAOs hate to spend money unless it's spending money on themselves.
Correct.
So
They only think about themselves.
I can't imagine the DAO, who's your landlord, ever funding any sort of replacements for you for anything that happens inside of your house, because obviously it takes from your pocketbook.
yeah. Let's cut all this out of the episode, so the DAO that is funding this video does not get upset.
Okay, excellent.
Not that they watch it or made it this far. If you made it this far, let us know down below if you're a fan of Joe and Thai prostitutes.
Or Caroline Ellison,
just
or
everything
Sam
else.
Bankman Fried, or Stars Arena.
No one's a fan of those people.
or what's it called?
Or if you think Caroline or Sam are pretty
Or
people.
USDR.
All right,
Where would you rate them on the hot scale?
Mark Zuckerberg.
No, bro. Mark Zuckerberg is pretty hot right now.
Wait, he's getting? Did you see his like white face thing that he did when he was like on a surfboard?
I mean,
Oh,
did
dude,
you want him to do blackface?
That was probably the peak of human sexuality, was seeing Mark Zuckerberg with suntan lotion on his face on that, what was it, hoverboard thing on the water. That
Yeah,
you know what,
that was peak sexuality.
yeah, I never could be aroused again after I saw that. Couldn't happen,
Bro, just
Is that
Google,
why you have?
End episode.
Google Mark Zuckerberg
Or
body.
hey, just cut that statement right there and paste it right in the beginning. That's our.
I'll do it. I will literally put it in the beginning. It's gonna be great.
Peak. That really made me endogenous. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways,
Bro,
everyone.
he's looking good. He's looking good. Look at that body. I think he could probably just go to Turkey and get some hair plugs, and then
Do you think he could?
On his chest.
Do you think he could bench you, Kila?
he could probably bench me. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like if like Kila was
How
to lay
much-
down on Mark Zuckerberg, do you think?
How much do you have to pay a Thai prostitute to get benched?
Oh my God. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the D-Files, your family-friendly, oriented, non-Thai prostitute associated podcast from Beefy, the multi-chain yield
This is the worst episode we've
optimizer,
ever done.
located on 23 different chains. Cheers. We look forward to seeing you again.